third essential concept you will need to have is the difference between cradling the head and vising the neck. So cradling the head, as the name implies, is like cradling a baby with a cupped hand. Everything we've done to date, even these rather aggressive hits to the neck, are fundamentally a cradle form in the arm. By comparison, a vise is done with the radial edge, the thumb edge. So if I think of acquiring hadakijimi, the windpipe choke from the back, that is a vise. If I think of acquiring a cross face lock, that is a vise. And in exactly the same way from a single nape, I can be working with a cradle on the skull or on occasion clapping the back of the neck, and I can switch into a vise and clamp. Now, this is a painful, hard fulcrum. So I never have advantage out of vising on the top of the head. It's going to just irritate my wrist bone and do nothing to the individual. I want to have it right at the base of the skull or slightly lower, really first or second vertebrae. And the reason for that is that although it's forcing, this is becoming a point of rotation. So when I vise the back of the neck, I must have antagonistic pressure at the front. Most commonly, I pull the person down so that they're into my shoulder and I go up onto my toes to lever them. And this needn't be an end-all finishing move throw to the floor. It could simply be something that raises somebody up off their toes and takes their balance to allow me to enter. So it could be hitting in like that to cause a little bit of damage to set up my bear trap, or it could conversely be vising into the neck and getting my skull under the jaw, into the throat, or into the face. So these are really good pain levers, even pulling it into the chest at close range. When somebody has a body lock on me, if I counter vise here, it can sometimes give me the ability to kind of lower my base back down and then turn into my bear trap. So moving between a cradle and a vise can sometimes be very advantageous for just giving you that tiny little pattern interrupt you're looking for. People that are braced and aware of the cradle leverage will sometimes have good ways of neutralizing it, but the second they acquire a good base against the cradle, if you vise them, you basically violate their most vulnerable portion. Conversely, if you crank on a headlock and you're vising hard on the head and the person bulldogs down like that to protect, if I go back up to a cradle, they're going to snap down very quickly. So the difference between a cradle and a vise.